Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Last week we talked about what we would do if we woke up and we suddenly had car payments and credit cards and student loans, and we glossed over a few things because we were moving very quickly, and a couple people had questions about things like what if you're upside down on your car, and more importantly, why is getting out of debt so important for you?
We've all heard it before. Debt is slavery, it's a cancer, and we even said that we would attack our debt like we were waging war on some foreign threat. But why all the theatrics?
We actually had a section in our last video about why getting out of debt is so important, but it ended up sounding like we were talking down to people, and we didn't really like the way it came out, so we cut it. And we also figured that there's no real point in arguing with people who are in debt denial. You know, either people feel the suffocating burden of debt or they don't, or they feel that pit in their stomach looking at the bills on the table or they don't.
But since Jim Collins has a post about getting out of debt and he lists his reasons, we figured, why not us too?
To start, let's talk about how we define bad debt. So we are not personal finance advisors, so don't take it this way. This is just our personal opinion. Traditionally, good debt is considered debt that is used to increase your income or net worth, and bad debt is that which is used to purchase a depreciating asset. As Generation Yers, we view it a little bit differently.
For us, bad debt is anything that inhibits our ability to make spontaneous life choices.
For example, if we want to take a job that pays less but is more meaningful, bad debt would keep us from doing that.
If we wanted to take 2 months off to backpack Europe, bad debt would stop us from being able to do that.
And if we wanted to make a radical change and live in a tiny house and make YouTube videos for a living, bad debt would force us to stay the course. With that definition in mind, you can see that really all debt is bad debt to us. Even student loan debt is generally considered good, but it's not something that you can sell off to get rid of the payments if you want to make a life change. The average repayment schedule for student loans is 180 months, or 15 years. How are you supposed to know at 22 what you want to be doing when you're 37 years old? Well, if you've got the student loan debt and you're not paying it off quickly enough, I can tell you what you're going to be doing. You're going to be making career choices based on making monthly payments on your student loans, not what's best for you.
So we see why having debt keeps us from moving forward, but really it's worse than that. It doesn't just hold you back, it keeps you down.
Let's list some of the emotions that people in debt feel on an almost daily basis. Shame.
Fear.
Anxiety.
Guilt.
Helplessness.
It affects your health as your stress levels increase.
It affects your relationships. Maybe you start viewing the world through a lens of scarcity and helplessness, and that coworker doesn't deserve the promotion you do. They don't even need the money. Financial discord drives a wedge between spouses. Neither of you want to talk about it, but that's just making it worse.
Then of course you try to buy more things to fill that void of happiness, and then you just fall deeper into debt and the cycle continues on and on.
I don't think we could dream up a more unpleasant way of living. And the sad part is that is not just how some people live, that's how most people live. And that's why we say we would treat debt as if it were physically killing us, as if getting out of debt were saving our life.
Okay, that was depressing enough. So let's talk about some questions that came up about paying off debt.
Question number 1. What if I'm upside down on my car loan? Being upside down means that you owe more on your car loan than the car is worth. And it's a trap that a lot of people fall into who trade in their cars every 2 or 3 years, because they go to the dealership, the dealer offers to pay them bottom dollar for their car, but they roll in the difference between the price they pay and the loan into the new loan and extend the term so your monthly payment stays the same, but you're just racking up more and more debt without realizing it. Unfortunately, there's no quick or easy way to get out of this. You just have to muscle through, save up the cash for the difference. So let's say you have a car that has a loan of $12,000 but is only worth $10,000. Well, since you don't technically own the car, you can't actually sell it until you come up with that extra $2,000. So you've got to save $2,000, then list the car for sale, find a buyer for $10,000, take them to the bank, take their money and your money combined, pay off the car, give them the title, and you end up with $0 and no car. And that is why we say car payments are not okay.
Question 2, should I stop investing while I'm paying down debt? We would, as long as we were being as aggressive in paying down our debt as we said we were in our last video. If you're taking that money from investing and saying you're putting it towards debt, but really you're spending it on other things, then absolutely not.
Question 3, what about debt consolidation? Let me start by saying I haven't done any thorough research and we have no experience with debt consolidation, but that being said, I would not touch a debt consolidation specialist with a 10-foot pole. These people profit off of the desperate and broke, and based on their advertisements, which promise a quick, magical fix, I can't imagine they have pure intentions or are in your best interest at all. Second, consolidating your debt lowers your monthly payment and therefore your sense of urgency, which is not a good thing. And worst of all, they eliminate your credit card debt, freeing up that credit line for even more spending. So I definitely wouldn't recommend it. The best case scenario is that they lower your interest rate and your monthly payment by extending the term of the loan, so you actually end up paying more than you originally would anyways.
All right, well, I think that was enough about debt. So join us next week when we talk about why everyone should have an emergency fund and how much they should have in it.
Bye.
Bye.